There we go.
All right.
We're good.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for taking some time to
Yeah.
do this. Yeah, a little off camera. It was a little hassle getting this going, so I appreciate your patience. So why don't you just take a second, I guess, just to introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
All right. I'm Aaron. My son is Patrick. He is a 9-year-old. Plays soccer with South Stars, and I think we started. I don't know if you back in was it last fall maybe or around there in the
From
winter
my from
there.
my memory, we started. Well, I know the first time we did a session was in the gym.
That's right. So it would have been winter. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Winter.
like
That's right.
yeah, I, it was kind of, I lucked out because my hardest part about this past, it was like, I think it was January or February,
Yeah.
um, was finding places to train. Because at that time, I didn't have a relationship really with Sportsplex like I do now.
Mhm.
Um, so like I was like, Wright State has the Nutter Center, um, for anybody who's watching that doesn't know what that is. It's like the basketball gym. I was thinking about training in there, but then you have to rent it.
Yeah.
And like, who's doing that? Nobody's going to the Nutter Center to rent for soccer training. So we lucked out. Your wife is a teacher at that
Right.
school.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started in the winter, and then
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, we started in the gym. We even did a session in the backyard of my house.
yeah, yeah, we got kicked out of the gym once and
That's
did a
right.
session in the
Yeah.
cafeteria.
That's right. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, we've kind of been through it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think. Uh, Yeah, so you guys just got involved with me. Do you remember through what? Was it through Facebook?
I saw a post. I think there was a post on the Dayton, Ohio soccer moms and dads, and I feel like I saw it, and then the post got taken down.
Yes,
But I
it
was like,
was taken down.
but I remember I remember having looked you up on the Right State roster, and that's how I remembered your name. So then
Yes,
I think I found you on Facebook then.
that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I used to spam the Facebook groups. Um, and it somehow I got let into there's a Beaver Creek Moms Facebook group, and somehow they let me in there, and I used to just spam that Facebook group. So I'm not surprised they deleted me, but or they deleted my message. That's pretty funny. But that's awesome. So we've been working together ever since. Um, a little bit off and on, but uh, now with me being in Columbus, that changes things a little bit. But I saw Patrick a good amount this summer. Um, so from your perspective, let's just like describe Patrick as a player, um, you know, and just like as he's grown up a little bit, because he's only 9, right? Is
Yeah,
that right? Yeah.
yeah,
So kind of just describe him as a player, what position he plays, and all that stuff.
yeah. So I mean, coming in like last when he started playing club, it would have been last a little over a year ago. I mean, he was fairly timid. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a roster of 10 kids, and he was on the weekend with. I mean, there were some really solid players on the team, but then he broke his arm like a week before the first game, and like that kind of set him back. And so it's always been the big thing's been, hey, can we get him to be a little more aggressive, like a little more burst, a little more
Yeah.
like so yeah, I mean he's because he was one of the weaker players on the team, he's kind of just been plugged in at different spots. So he's kind of gotten used to playing anywhere, which has
Yeah.
been beneficial this year because
Mhm.
now we're at a point where hey, I can just stick him anywhere. He knows the positioning, like he knows the responsibilities. So I mean,
Yeah.
he plays back, he plays midfield, he plays keeper.
And you're his coach now.
Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
assistant last year. I was
Yeah.
coach. So one thing that's nice about working with you is that it's a different voice with somebody who knows a lot more than me, but a different voice
Yeah.
because I can sit there and tell him blue in the face and try to get him to do certain things, but it's easier, and he will actually, I mean, he'll listen to me, but he'll listen to you better.
That's fun. So, how's the experience been like coaching? I know we've talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, so it's a pretty good group of kids, but it's like another full-time job. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
where my wife gets on me from time to time because I'm on the phone. Like I get home from practice and then I'm on the phone afterwards, and it eats up so much time.
it does.
Um, I mean, it's I think it's kind of similar. Like you're trying to grow your business, and you're learning a lot. Like going through like I coached him when he played rec, and like that's glorified babysitting. And you just try to like you're looking at basic fundamental stuff, and you got some kids that don't want to be out there, some kids that do. But then when you go to club, you at least have a group of kids that want to be there. There's
Yeah.
actually an investment that's been made,
Mhm.
but you just learn a lot just going through last year, like looking at what I learned. I like to say like I've got my master's last year in like Facebook reels with soccer drills and stuff, and I'm working on my doctorate this year. Um, so,
That's so good.
but
Facebook
like
skills.
I
That's
mean, we
cool.
went we went through, and I mean, there's so much great stuff out there, but like,
There is.
there's some terrible stuff out there too.
There
Uh,
is.
but I mean, we went through a chunk of games this like in the over the past like week, and just, I mean, there was some good things. There was a lot of things we need to work on. We were in a tournament, and we were put up probably a bracket higher than we should have been. So we just, I mean, there are games that we could have competed in if we didn't make stupid mistakes, but I mean, we had only had one game coming in early season tournament. So like having like building off like what I learned last year, like I sat down before practice yesterday and I had like 2 pages typed out of like stuff like, hey, we're gonna like dumb some things down a little, and like that way with like throw-ins and corners especially, like it's like we're just gonna drill this into them so that when
Yeah.
we run into those scenarios they know. And we had our best practice of the year last night.
That's awesome.
So we're
Yeah, I
we're
love
going for
that.
two in a row tonight, so we'll
Let's
see.
go. Well, I hope it goes well. It's all
Yeah,
about the preparation, though. I think
yeah,
I definitely relate because when I started doing this when I was 17, like honestly, I just was showing up and doing it for the money, which sounds terrible right now as I'm saying it, but
yeah.
like I would show up unprepared and because I play soccer, like I kind of knew like what I could do.
Mhm.
Like I didn't have any preparation. And so I'm glad to say I've grown out of that for sure. Because there were some experiences where like I was like, man, I look terrible right now. And so yeah, it's all about preparation. When you're prepared, it's a lot easier to run the session. So that's cool. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
but
I watched a video this morning. It was like top like I don't know if it was like 7 or 8 like mistakes that youth coaches make from like the U10 and below. And I was pleasantly surprised that I don't really do any of those anymore. So
yeah,
like we're
that's
making
awesome.
steps in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all about improvement.
Yeah.
Um, so let's say I guess the next question I had would be like how how have you seen Patrick improve as a player in the past, man, I don't know, what is it, 8 months now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just with
Um,
us working together and just kind of overall, like how have you seen that improve?
Yeah, so it's like I said, he's more when you're working with him, he's more engaged. I mean, I know there's some sessions where we're out there and it's like 95 degrees, and like we had some hot ones, and sometimes he toughs it out, and sometimes it's like pushing him a little. But
Mhm.
I just think like his overall confidence, it's one thing that I'd always pushed is like, hey, you got to work on your off foot, like, and it's just repetitions. And if you can use both your feet, you're going to be in a better position than a lot of kids out there, even if you're not as fast, even if you're not as skilled. um and I think like through working with you, he's and you like forcing him to in some of these drills, like he actually went out then and worked on it. So he still needs to work more on it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's it's like the battle of time because we practice a lot, like 3 days a week, and then he's playing on a school team as well, and we're at the end of summer. So
Yeah.
there's, but I was talking about like, hey, like, got to get back to the grind here. And it's not even, it's just, I think it's helped him like working with you to realize that, hey, like he sees if I put the work in, there is like a payoff.
For
And
sure.
he recognizes like, hey, there's certain things I can do that other kids can't do. Now there's still things that like he can't do that other kids can do too. But like it's like I think it's pushed him to work a little harder.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. Yeah, I would say I would agree for sure. I think from my perspective, um, yeah, I think his left foot's got definitely gotten better. But I'd also just say like I think his engagement overall, because at the end of the day, he's 9 years old, he's a kid. Um, but like I can tell that he is passionate about it and like he definitely loves the game. So it's been fun working with him and hope that he continues to improve. So I would say I guess the next question because we kind of have a unique relationship where you've been at a lot or all of the sessions watching pretty much because a lot there are some times where you know because I've worked with kids of all ages so like if they're older in high school they'll just come by themselves or some parents will drop their kid off and come pick them up and I mean it doesn't matter to me but you've been there pretty much every session watching every drill
Yeah.
um, and so like from your perspective what do you think about the way that I do things. What do you like about it? What do you think, if there's anything, because you're a coach as well, like that I could do better?
But
Um, please don't hesitate. This is not just a make me feel good call. Yeah, just give me your thoughts. Like I think,
I mean, part of the reason I stick around is because I do coach, so I'm looking for ideas. So maybe you should be charging me for. um, no, I feel like there's not a lot of downtime, which is good. I mean, it's tough. It's kind of the same thing. Like when you look at it, like we practice 90 minutes. Like it
yeah,
sounds like a lot of time. It's not really.
no,
So it's like, how can, and so now it's usually 60 minutes when we're working with you, and it's like you're trying to pack as much as you can into it and make it valuable. So what I like is, yeah, it's not a lot of downtime. I think the overall the drills are enjoyable. It's not a lot of boring stuff, and like you said, it's hard with the 9 year old because there's a lot of stuff that you do that I explained to him afterwards. Like, hey, you realize like you're like because 9 year old like, hey, when can we shoot? And it's like, well,
yeah.
man, if you don't do this other stuff, you're never going to get in the position where you can shoot. Or like, hey,
That's
like
so true.
this is what this is translating to. So I think it's like with your background, the stuff you do, like, I can see it because like I'm like since I coach and I know just a little bit is like I see where those drills apply in the game and how they're valuable
Mhm.
in multiple positions, not just one position, just like all over the field.
Yeah,
That's what I like about it. And I mean, you can't beat the one-on-one time as long as the kid is engaged. And I think he's become more and more engaged.
for sure.
There's always like it's nine, like we say, we keep going back to, and it's thing that like I always go back to with his team. It's like you see him do a lot of good stuff out there, and then and you forget they're nine,
Yeah,
and then they have a day where they're just not into it or something. It's
yeah,
like you got to remind yourself they're 9 years old, or
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, for sure. I appreciate that. I think um I've definitely seen a lot, even though I'm still 22, especially this past year. And I'm sure you understand, like there's just every day is like you don't know what's coming. Um, I think just being adaptable is such a important thing. Like I coach a group of 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, so like 19, 20
yeah,
year olds. So like it's completely different. But then there are times that like the older kids are, struggling with the concept. Um, so you never know. You never and then there are times where I'm not feeling it that day either. So
yeah,
it's kind of just being adaptable.
yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah.
Um, and then last question I had is just moving forward. So, I've talked about it a little bit, but anybody watching this, probably all five people that are watching this, I'm I'm in Columbus now. I'm not in Dayton, but I'm doing this online program in the fall with people I've already worked with, in the hopes of building that out for next year, as we've talked about it. So what kind of intrigued you about doing that? Because obviously Patrick's 9. Uh,
Hmm.
Online program is definitely easier to do with older kids.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, so just what intrigued you about that, and like you know what are you looking forward to with that based on what we've talked about?
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to a couple of things we talked about earlier where it's, I mean, I can tell him, hey, go out in the backyard or get your rebounder out and get like I always tell kids, like it doesn't take very long to get 1,000 touches in, but like 15 minutes, I mean, probably less.
Yeah.
Yeah. But me telling him and he's like, I'd rather like do this or that or like my hope with online is like, hey, it'll be structured in a way that it's like it's coming from you
Mhm.
and like he knows what you're talking about too and he will respond to that and that will get him out and like I mean obviously yeah since he's 9 like I'll be very involved with like making sure that hey that the work's been getting done but I think just
Sure.
having a schedule and it's different from like so there's like we've tried the whole dribble up thing before
Yeah.
and I think that's great for probably somebody who maybe is a little more older or somebody who's way more driven like that can't really hold you accountable like but
Hmm.
but I feel like you have a relationship with him so like we know you so
Yeah.
I think that's what that we're looking forward to seeing like how that works out and obviously there's just not as much time. I mean we'll still try to work in some of the private lessons like in person or through your partner.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's if we can get him into a routine where he's working on stuff at home based on like feedback with you and stuff like that, then it's easier. I mean, that's so much easier than when we have practice 3 nights a week. We've got like, we'll say 15 plus games between mid-August and the end of October, plus other school commitments and stuff. If we can knock some stuff out at home or like
Yeah.
we're out fields like 30 minutes before practice early, um, I think there's a good opportunity there to get better through that. That's
Yeah.
what's kind of I like the idea of giving that a try.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was kind of the goal is, you know, and you get this as a coach, like there are times where, at least in my career too, like I built a good relationship with the coach and then either I moved or they moved and then I don't hear from them again. Um, and I think it's a little different for me because I'm not technically anybody's club coach.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to stay involved. I do really care about this development. And I think just being more invested off away from the field is important. Just because like you can only do so much in an hour. Um, and that stuff's important for sure. But if I can like help coach virtually and keep building that relationship, um, I just think it's a really cool idea. So I'm excited for it and I'm glad you're going to be a part of it.
No, we're looking forward to it.
Awesome.